Yep.
Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It's me. It's Mike Lepre, King Mike L. This is World of Legit Fantasy Wrestling, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. It is June 15th, 2022, which is 06152022, which for the math geeks is something because my mind immediately picks it up, and that is 6 / 1 and 5 equals 6 / 2022 equal 6. In my book, it's 666 today. Joining me as always, Joey Paranormal. What's up, Joe?
Much, man. Side note, this is not Sunday night, so let's keep the paranormal shit, on Sundays. Let's not talk about 666 and numbers and all that stuff. Nope.
No, I'm just telling you about for the math geeks. If you look at the date, right, and you add up the numbers that are within all three slashes, what do you want to call them? You get what, Joe?
Yeah,
You
as
get
soon as you
0
said
and
it, I was
6.
like, oh shit, it's the 15th. Yeah,
You
that
get
makes
0 and
sense.
6, you get 1
Yeah.
and 5, and then you get 2022.
Yeah.
When will you ever get that again? Well, maybe at 2/4 on the 24th. So, Joe, now let's slowly ease into this because I got the news before you did.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh!" And then I immediately read the Florida state law, where if it's 3 DUIs within 10 years, they have to impose it's a minimum, and there's jail time and there's fines and all kinds of bad stuff. Now, we are of course speaking of Jeff Hardy, one of your favorite wrestlers,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to hear your thoughts on this because I'll tell you, this to me was sad. Made me nothing but sad. That's how I felt, Joe. I wasn't mad at the guy. I wasn't like anything else, but like, God damn it. Don't they have Uber?
Yeah.
Like, what the Christ, dude? At what point are you in your life you can't afford Uber? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
It's just tough. There's video that came out today of the night before he was arrested. He was doing a set at probably some bar in Florida, and he's actually got a glass of whiskey behind him, and he starts talking, and right before he goes into a song, he turns around, and there's probably maybe a quarter of the cup left of, I don't know if it was straight whiskey, but he downs it, and as the song starts, he goes, "Whiskey, it's my best friend and my worst enemy," and it's just like, oh man, like, you've got issues with that kind of thing, and I've always thought it kind of sucks, like when like athletes are in the drug protocols, like Josh Gordon, where like that dude couldn't even drink alcohol. If he drank alcohol, he wouldn't be allowed back in the league. Like, that blows, man. Like, but in the grand scheme of things, man, like he blew like a 2.9, a 0.291. That's like almost like 4 times the legal limit. Like, at some point, dude, just hire a driver. Like, he has to have made enough money in his career, and maybe he's blowing it a lot, like on medications, on alcohol, on God knows what. But like, dude, at some point, just hire a freaking driver and just don't go
If
anywhere
you
without
can
someone driving.
afford the booze, you can afford the Uber.
Yeah, like, dude, if you need, like, Jeff, if you ever watch the show, you need someone to professionally drive you wherever you want to go. Hit this dude up. I got you. I will just drive. That will be my life. Well, me and my fiance will move to Florida, and I will just drive Jeff Hardy around. You can get as drunk as you want.
That's the thing too. Like, just stop driving.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm being serious. Like, alcohol gets through, and he passed the from what his brother said, he passed the drug test going out of the WWE.
Yeah.
So it's definitely alcohol.
Yeah.
That's
And I
the
think
issue right now.
And I think that was because he apparently rejected rehab, but they never said, like, I think it was always assumed that the rehab they were offering him was a like drug rehab. But maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was, AAA.
You know what's
Maybe
happened?
the,
He's matured in life to where he's um uh drinking booze now. Like he's quit it with the pills. He's gone down that route and other stuff. He's seen what it's done to him, but he needs the escape, and now he's knee deep in the booze.
yeah, and it kind of explains his match. The tag match he had against the Young Bucks. I think at Double or Nothing. There were reports at the very beginning of that match, like Matt was kind of propping him up to a degree and calling out his spots, and Jeff was very, very he just couldn't kind of figure it out. It almost makes sense now when you think about it. Like he's probably just been heavily drinking for a while, and it popped up in the WWE show, and he kind of was like, you know what, like maybe he was a little drunk, decided he didn't want to go out there and fuck his body up, and he was like, I'm just gonna walk out through the crowd because again, that's a snap decision that someone who's not sober would tend to make.
Didn't
Uh,
we have this conversation? And I tried to tell you that I thought he was drinking again.
yeah,
You were trying to give me some other reason. Like you were literally trying to back the guy up and come up with an excuse that why he was how he was.
yep.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right. I remember like that was the first thing I thought of when you sent me that link, and then I went to the page to see it, or when you told me about it, and I googled it. I'm like, son of a bitch, man, because like I was one of the ones that was defending. I'm like, nah, like this guy's just beating his body up and decided I'm gonna leave the WWE and I'm gonna do it in a way that makes me look erratic, so they just release me because that was the only way he was getting out of his contract is if he gets released because he had so much extra time built up from injury.
Where
So I mean, I
where
was hoping for the
see,
best, and
the thing was you went too deep into it. You you started to control the narrative. Like you assumed that that's what the reasoning was. And I'm like going, I think he was just really drunk. So my point is, me and you both don't know, but you took the narrative further and you actually gave him excuses. You kind of did, like you said, like, oh, maybe he was just trying to get out of his contract, and he's da, 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 da. That narrative didn't even exist. That was just you trying to get him to not look so bad because he's
well,
one of your
that was
favorite
no, that
wrestlers.
was reported. Like that was something that people were speculating on. It wasn't just me. I was piggybacking off of things that I had read. Because again, I mean, nobody spoke out saying he smelt like booze or that he had been drinking.
That's the best part about booze, though. Sometimes you drink the
If he's
vodka
drinking whiskey, you're gonna smell that.
or vodka. If he's
But
drinking
again,
vodka,
I'm not gonna make excuses for him at this point because it just sucks,
I
man.
don't think he deserves jail time.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. I mean, is he gonna do it again? How many times is this gonna happen until he kills somebody? You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's
3 times in 10 years. When was the first one? If it was literally like 10 years ago and he's on the line, I think they let him through.
no, probably. I mean, I think he probably avoids jail time just because of who he is anyway.
I don't know.
Um,
Don't say that. They love making examples down in
true.
Florida, especially in Florida. That's
Yeah.
look, you get arrested in Florida. Oh my God. Like good luck to you there. You know what I mean? Like that's a trip. And those people, they handle things like Floridians. You know what I'm saying?
You ever watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No.
Ah, all right. I'm not gonna go down that road. But if there's a good scene or episode in Brooklyn Nine-Nine that kind of exemplifies what you're talking about, like very, very well.
Exemplifies what?
So, all right, basically, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is about a police precinct. These two guys, Jake Peralta and the captain, they have to go on the lam, or not on the lam, but they have to go into witness protection because someone's trying to kill them. They go to Florida. They end up basically being labeled as fugitives because they were trying to lure the killer to them so they could kill him so they go back to their old life. They get found with a bunch of guns. They go into prison, and while they're in prison, um, it's basically like the cop, like it's just that the way the cop arrests them and like finds out how they're lying. Because like they basically do like the prom story or something like that, where like they sit them down and they try to like it's a whole thing. You have to see it. I'm starting to get a little fuzzy. I just remember they kiss and they start a whole fight, and the cop doesn't do anything, just sits there and watches, and then they were like screw it and they kiss each other because the captain's gay and the cop pulls out his gun and he goes in there to break him up because he's like, "Oh no, can't have that now," and it's a whole thing. But it's a great show. You should actually watch the show in general. The episode's really funny too.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the 10:55 mark, that was what we call a Joey moment. We just had a Joey moment where we just kinda go off on something that I'm not even quite sure what he's talking about, but he seems to end it pretty confidently, so I'm gonna go along with it. All right, Joe.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Now, let's go over what we love to go over the best.
Oh, I almost don't even want to. Actually, you want to talk about Vince McMahon getting investigated really quick? You see this?
All right, we start with that. Go ahead.
Have you seen this?
No.
Bleacher Report, it's all over right now. McMahon's being investigated by the WWE board over a $3 million settlement payment he made to a supposed female employee who he had an affair with. And this goes on, and this is there's a list of other. So apparently,
How
Wall
much
Street
did he
Journal.
do? How much was it?
What? 3
How much
million.
was it?
3 million. Per the Wall Street Journal, the board's investigation, which began in April, has unearthed other older non-disclosure agreements involving claims by former female WWE employees of misconduct by Mr. McMahon and one of his top executives, Johnny Laurinaitis, the head of talent relations. So apparently they're looking into this $3 million payment. The author of the emails, who was a friend of the employee in question, said the woman was first hired and given a $100,000 salary. A friend said the woman's salary then rose to $200,000 after she started a sexual relationship with McMahon. Yeah. And then they paid her $3 million when they fired her to just not talk about the fact that she had a relationship with Vince McMahon. And now he's being investigated probably because at some point he misused, or it's a whole thing. It's just crazy.
I mean, you can't misuse the funds of the company.
Yeah, especially to pay hush money to a female employee that you had what I'm assuming is consensual relations with.
Once you went public.
Yeah.
With the business, that shit you can no longer hide. But here's the issue I have with that. Like, oh my God, the world of wrestling is like that. Like, it's been like that. So I don't understand. I could see 1,000 female wrestlers come out of the woodwork about McMahon.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised they haven't, to be honest.
But like, I don't know what they're gonna get him. Like, what I'm trying to say is, I know the job is the job, all right. But there's something about that job that's it makes them like that. Like it's never showcased women in a good light. It's always made them objects of desire.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to be honest, I'll be honest, and that's just how that goes. So he's acted like that his whole life. And John Laurinaitis, there's Jesus Christ, there's a lot of like not just women that have sexual issues and charges against them. There's actually some guys.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of shit that's going on there. And man, that's a can of worms I would not want to see opened ever. Because really, there's so many girls that could come through the woodwork talking about, misconduct with Vince McMahon.
I'm sure back in the 90s, he was probably grooming and just doing. It's weird that there hasn't been more to come out, because you would think it would almost be. The story almost writes itself. I mean,
we're speculating.
Yeah, allegedly. This is all allegedly.
We don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about what we think we know.
Well, actually, we kind of do know what we're talking about, just not on this subject.
Exactly.
But yeah, I just think it's a crazy story with everything going on, especially like with Stephanie McMahon. She
left,
fired,
dude. They all left,
and but they started dragging her name through the mud. Like, they started bashing her about deals that she had blown up, and people not wanting to do deals with her, and marketing deals that she had fudged, and it's just weird what's going on. And then Shane gets fired last year, and he went nuts. It's just,
dude. Listen to me. fired? Did they get fired, or is this a way for them to get distanced away from Vince because they knew shit was gonna boil up and eventually pop out? This is like Prince Harry trying to get away from the Queen of England. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
separate because you know shit's gonna go down.
Yeah.
That's
And
what I think.
her and Triple H had sold a bunch of their stocks. I think it was like early last year too.
Yep.
Um, I think this is ultimately, I know we've been saying this for a long time now and it hasn't happened, but I just think at this point, it's almost inevitable that they get sold soon. I mean, there's no way that I think I feel like if he's he was investigated by the WWE board, there could be more to this story that comes out. If this gets worse, it's just I don't know. Could end up being like Dan Snyder and the Commanders, where there's a whole bunch of bad shit there, but for whatever reason, someone just instead of opening the can of worms that was Dan Snyder, they were like, "Hey, John Gruden sent these emails. Go after him." So you wonder if it's going to end up being something like that, where they investigate him and somebody else is going to take the fall. Like maybe Laura Knight also will get destroyed, but Vince will still come out clean.
Joe, all you gotta go to is there's really one person's name or two people's name in one topic that's happened within the last, I want to say, I don't know, 10 years, and what they got away with, and the fact that we don't even talk about what did they actually get away with, that blows my mind. If you want to know about the conscious stream of the public and why they won't talk about certain things, the fact that they won't talk about what I'm talking about right now, and I hope you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know. I'm not
All right,
sure.
I'll give you the female of it, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh yeah.
How do you have her give a list of all these names? They have a flight chart, a flight book of everybody that flew on that plane, because you have to have a flight book when someone flies on a plane, and they have one from that would go from his house to that island. Why has that never been read, Joe? Why has that never been brought up? Things like this, I'm learning that doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. It matters how you spin the press and how much money you really have and how much power and control you have over other people. So, but I think Vince McMahon is really old right now. So he might go down on something like this. Like I could see him going down on something like this, like getting in big trouble. You don't
End up getting Cosby.
Yeah.
Dude's like a foot onto his an arm, a hip onto his deathbed, and boom, just gets hit with all these allegations and basically ruins what's left of his life.
But at this point, right? I got to be honest, right? At this point, if you're Bill Cosby, do you care that you're in jail? I'd be like, it's meals, it's whatever. No, for real. At this point, it's like,
Yeah, I'm sure he'd rather be a free man.
I guess, but whatever. Where's he going? He can't walk around. All right, Joe. Let's go over. Let's go over the recap.
So, really quick too, before we do that, I just want to give us a laugh. The only other rumor thing I want to point out is, so did you know the WWE decided to unify the titles so Roman Reigns could appear on both Raw and SmackDown more often?
Well, yeah.
But he hasn't been on any show.
He
just was like, "Oh, that's the plan. I'm gonna take a little hiatus."
So now they got to break up the belts.
There's no reports on that. I mean, I don't think they can. Like, Roman is your top draw. Like, you just can't take him off him, especially with Cody, because that's another rumor is that Vince sees Cody as the top star in the WWE. Like, he thinks like Cody is like the pinnacle next to Roman.
What I keep reading is they're trying to figure out a way to get it to Seth so that Cody can make his triumphant return for the belt.
Yeah, I mean, Seth's gonna win the Money in the Bank, so I'm sure it'll be, maybe Brock comes back and Roman and Brock have this epic battle, like clash, where they just beat the absolute piss out of each other. And then here comes Seth, the new ultimate opportunist, and he does
it again. The exact same thing he did.
Exactly like he did at WrestleMania. I mean, it's a possibility. I think he's the hot pick right now to win the Money in the Bank. I think it's gonna be him and Becky. If you saw, they have a graphic out with him and Becky basically like doing this whole thing back, like whatever the shooting money thing. So it's only a matter of time, I think, before they get their own little fucking group. I mean, at some point, like just both their personalities are so just crazy. Just put them together, like they'd be so funny. It'd be great watching them interact like just as psychos. Like just do it.
I don't think they're both very good. How about that? I think Seth's getting better. I don't think Becky's that
Hers
good.
is getting worse. She could use something different, but like that would be something different, Maybe
Yep.
being with Seth
Um,
adds an element that that gives her something different, some kind of new spin to it.
I can see that. I'm with that, Joe.
You
All right,
know,
I'm with that. I'm with that. Makes sense to me. All right, you want to go over Raw?
begrudgingly, but yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, you want me to go over what? All right. So it opened with
Ms. TV.
Jesus H, with Paul Heyman, right?
Yep.
Now this had the potential to go many places. Could have been very, very good. What did you think?
Man, I'm so over these stupid TV show segments, man. WWE they have to just start doing something different. Like, holy shit, get some freaking guy. Like, I don't know if it's Vince, if it's creative that's just too scared to try and think out of the box. But like, how often are we gonna have a title picture or a title match or a huge storyline, and we're gonna throw the Miz in the middle of it to be like a tag partner of the heel, and then have him, with a TV show just to get everybody talking and have like do something different, man. Because I've seen this story so many times. Thankfully, like Riddle and Heyman, like it was really good, them working with each other. But I mean, you could have just put Heyman out there just for Heyman to talk. Like you didn't need to do the Miz TV thing. It's just so old at this point. I hate the TV segments, the inceptual TV on TV segments.
So I would like it if they gave other people talk shows,
Hmm.
like 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 other people that we would like to hear from, like Riddle. Give Riddle the Bro Show,
The bro, I was literally just about to say that. Yeah, the bro show.
right? I think that would be better. Like these are things that like I just think like I don't want to see the Miz anymore on Miz TV.
Yeah, it's so overdone. Or like Happy Talk, which we probably won't see anymore. Even the KO show, like he doesn't need to do the KO show. We like just stop. I
They
don't know.
they,
Think of something different.
they just got to give some guys that are coming up on the roster their own show, and
Hmm.
that would be
It's like
the
a trope of the heel ego where like these heels are so egotistical they need to have their own like television talk show on the show. And I just think like even like the Cutting Edge back in the day, like I couldn't stand. And then like you have the King's Court, you throw Lawler out there randomly once every 5 years. Like it's just they rely on it way too much. It's really what it comes down to.
and they're never done well.
No,
They're just never like really just because they're in a ring, I guess. They're just never done well for me. You know what I mean?
it's just and it's weird. And you can tell it's so heavily scripted too sometimes. It's just not fun. But in it is as it relates to this particular segment, Riddle has been phenomenal on the mic. So I mean, that was nice to see, like the intensity, of Riddle, just kind of the confidence that he had. I thought it was really good. And then of
They
course
gotta
Heyman.
they gotta be like really surprised and happy with Riddle on the mic.
Yeah.
Because I think they knew what they were getting otherwise, but I don't think they knew what they were getting as somebody who could talk.
Yeah, he's been getting better and better. And the intensity that he's been showing has been a really cool little addition to his like, because he came in and he was like the stoner bro. You know what I mean? Like he was just that like he was just this stoner scooter guy who like does flips and stuff, and doesn't wear shoes. And he, and he's like, you see like this friendship with Randy has grown like this kind of like weird fire in him where he wants to be just like Randy, and so he's starting to take on that attitude now. he's just got this intensity it's a nice little character development, character arc. See where it goes. I mean, it's not going to go to a win. He's going to get destroyed on Friday night, but it'll probably lead into Randy coming back.
All right. Added after that was what? A new stipulation was added to Reigns and Riddle. What was the stipulation?
He will he will never be able to challenge for the title again.
After this loss?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh no. I think it's only as long as Roman is champion, so it's like, okay.
But that's
Oh
a big
no, don't
fucking
tempt me.
That's a big fucking stipulation, though.
No, it's not. Because
I
he's
think
never
it
gonna
is.
get into a program with Roman for the championship anyway, so what does it matter?
Why not? Riddle's up and coming, man.
Yeah, but like I don't know if you're being like seriously like why not, or if you're
I'm being
like,
seriously like, why not?
come on, like
Tell me why not?
because Riddle,
Why can you not see Riddle as the champion?
because I mean, I can see him as a champion. I just don't see him as ever beating Roman Reigns. So why not introduce a stipulation where he can never be in the title scene with Roman? So it's just a stupid stipulation. Like they make it seem like oh, it's gonna be a ladder match or a tables match. Or a hair match, or like a best friend of Randy match. If Riddle loses, he can no longer be Randy's best friend, and now he's Roman's best friend or something stupid. But no, it's like if Roman beats you, you can't challenge him again for the title. Like, all right, cool. Like, it's just a dumb, meaningless stipulation that, I mean, even if this wasn't a stipulation, he probably still wouldn't have ever challenged Roman for the title again because he's just not a credible threat to Roman. He's just fodder to get to Randy Orton, and it's sad because he deserves better, but it's also he's getting a brush with the top guy, so you can't really hate that.
I don't see it that way. I see it as this is one of his chances to start to really break out. This kid Riddle could be like one of the biggest people in wrestling. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's gonna have a good showing against Roman. It's gonna be a good match, but I think in the grand scheme of things, like thinking about this rationally, how wrestling goes, like he's not gonna face Roman again for the title anyway, this title cycle. Because if he loses the title and then regains it, I'm sure like somewhere there'd be a loophole in the storyline where he'd be fine. But that's even looking too deep into it. It's just the sheer fact that as they have the story written, like Riddle, this is the only time Riddle is gonna face Roman for the championship in this current like year-long cycle or however they're going about it. So it's just one of those stipulations that'll keep him out of the championship scene with Roman and allow Roman to go off and do other things, Or maybe it'll like Riddle will lose. Will be like, well, if I can't face you for the championship, I know who can, Randy.
Yeah.
It's very, oh, that's what I'm looking for. Like you can see it coming from a mile away. Like it's not intuitive. It's not a great storyline. Like they should have made it like if you lose, you have to stop following Randy around, and now you follow Roman around, and you're part of the bloodline. And Roman's your new best friend. You know what I mean? Like just
he'd never be part of the bloodline, but he could be like the guy who carries the bloodline's bags.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like it would just be something so like ridiculous. Like do something that'll make me laugh and like just throw me off. Not you can never challenge him for the title again. Like I've never seen that before. Might as well make him retire too while you're at it.
All right. So after that, we had what? Jimmy Uso versus Montez Ford.
Yeah, because this was set up weird because the Usos came out and started circling the ring, and then the Street Profits came out, and you're like, okay, so it's going to be the Usos and the Miz versus the Street Profits and Riddle, and then it ended up just being a singles match. So it was weird.
So on paper, these two fighting, I would not even want to see at a house show.
Wow, that's rough.
No, I'm being serious.
They put on a good show, a good little match.
I don't care. There's so many other wrestlers I would have wanted to watch in that spot fight each other than those two.
But at least like the tag teams are being still shown on TV.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Shitty booking that was.
Yeah, the whole segment was kind of shitty booking, if we're being honest. It's lazy booking. It's not shitty booking. It's just lazy. They're scared to try anything. I think this is why this company needs to be friggin' sold. Because going off topic, but I was watching a podcast where they were talking about how AEW, they just launched the All Atlantic title. Is that what it is, or the something Atlantic title where Tony Khan in an interview was like, it's so the international wrestlers can get an opportunity, but the American wrestlers will also have an opportunity, and it's like, so then everyone's got an opportunity, just like they kind of have for the other titles. And then they also have the Ring of Honor titles on the show. And when he talks about that, he's like, well, those will probably be on Elevation and Darkmoor and blah, blah, blah. And then we'll eventually have Ring of Honor with their own show. And the way they describe it is you're listening to the interview, and it just sounds like a kid who, like, he has no idea what he's doing. Like, he has no clue what he wants to do. He kind of sounds like me sometimes when I start a conversation where he started things and don't know where it's gonna lead to, and just hopes he kind of finds the direction along the way. Like how I am with my sentences, Michael
Yeah.
Scott reference.
Yeah.
But at least they're trying something new, and they're like throwing shit to the wall to see what sticks. WWE won't even throw shit on the wall. They're scared to even just throw shit on the wall. They're just like, well, you know what? We have these already cut out pieces of paper that fit neatly, and we've used them a million times, but like, let's just keep sticking them on the wall and seeing how many times these reused pieces of paper will keep sticking until they fall off. And they've fallen off years ago, and they still keep trying to stick them back up on the wall. And it sucks, man. And I don't think anything's going to change until Vince is gone, and it gives someone new a chance to just let creative run friggin' wild and see what the hell happens.
Were we just talking about sticking paper to a wall?
Yeah.
And then how they would fall off?
I'm the king of analogies. I should be Joey Paranormal, aka King of Analogies.
That analogy was quite long.
Yep.
Quite
but
long.
You know what? You know what I'm talking about, though.
No, not really.
Eh.
You kind of lost me with the papers. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I thought I would have lost you with the shit on the wall, but hey, you stuck with me longer than I thought you would.
When the paper started falling off,
I started falling off.
I'm going, what's this guy talking about right now? Let's see. All right.
This will be an all-timer for Joey moments this episode.
Let's go over to AJ Styles attacked Seth Rollins during an interview. Why?
Well, it was a setup for their match. It's really it.
Okay.
They had a match for Money in the Bank. It was probably just a setup for that.
All right. But how's Seth going to win Money in the Bank if he's going to match?
Wait, what?
How is Seth Rollins going to win Money in the Bank if he has a match at Money in the Bank?
What do you mean?
Usually when they have matches, they don't enter the Money in the Bank match too.
No, he doesn't. He's in the Money in the Bank. He's in the Money in the Bank. He beat AJ Styles on Raw for a spot in Money in the Bank.
All right, that's what it was about. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the whole hubbub was. Hubbub. I don't know what it was. There it is. Asuka battered Becky Lynch. These both seem like non-matches.
So, and a lot of people were pissed off about this, that last week Becky was in like the 24/7 picture with Asuka, and people kind of didn't understand why. And then this week Becky challenged Dana Brooke for the 24/7 title, and then used that as an excuse to just beat the ever-living piss out of her. Which basically she was like, I just wanted to beat shit out of somebody, so that's why I challenged you for this belt. I don't give a shit about your 2-bit belt. I just wanted to kick the shit out of you. And that's what she did. And it's like, that's how she even portrayed it too. Like, she didn't care about the title. She just wanted to beat the shit out of somebody. And then Asuka came down for the save, and then they all had a little brawl. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, but that's pretty douchey.
Oh, that's the point. Yeah, imagine just being like, oh, I want to challenge you for your title. Okay. And then you go out to fight her, and she beats the piss out of you, gets disqualified. And was like, I give literal zero shits about your shitty title. I just wanted to beat your face in.
Yeah, I didn't I don't like, look, I don't like the idea of her shitting on the belt, I guess is my issue is. It's already a shitty enough belt. We know.
Yeah, well, that's the point. Like, WWE is shit all over it. So what does it matter if an actual wrestler does? I like the reality in it where they're kind of making it, like I like that they're using like a real sentiment where she's like, "Why do I care about that title? Like, I just wanted to kill you."
All right, but I've never enjoyed ever a wrestler dissing a title of any type. I don't think they should do that in a kayfabe. You should never diss a title that other people are fighting for. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I get you, but I just think that's just That's like the heel character Becky's going for.
Yeah.
So
No,
like I'm
it's
okay
not
with
work.
it.
It's not working. So as far as I'm
Well, I mean, I some people liked it. I mean, I thought it was nice to try to get some heel heat for Becky.
okay. Well, yeah, not a big fan. Lexa Bliss. All right. What's this now? Lexa Bliss and Liv Morgan in a tag team defeat Dewdrop and Nikki Ash.
Yep.
Why, Joe? Why?
Well, it was winner gets spots in the women's Money in the Bank.
So 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 wait. So
Whoa.
wait a minute. Wait. It was a tag match,
Yep.
but the winning tag team, both participants would be allowed to be in what?
The women's Money in the Bank match.
So they're doing it 2 at a time. They care so little about the women that they're putting them in 2 at a time.
Yep. Yeah. Yes. Tell me how fucked up that is.
That is really messed up. Like
Yeah.
they're blatantly in your face saying like, "Oh, if he beats AJ Styles, he's going to the thing." Then it's like if these 2 girls can beat these other 2 girls, then the 2 winning girls both get to go. It's
Yep.
like, wow, that's a deal.
You know, it's even better. I don't know if they've named 4. I know they've named 3. There are 3 women already at least confirmed for the Money in the Bank match. Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Lacey Evans. 3 white, blonde-headed female wrestlers all in the Money in the Bank match. And I think there's a 4th who's also white blonde
Not
wrestler. I just can't think of it.
all right, but of those 3 you named, not one would ever get kicked out of bed for eating crackers.
No, you're not wrong. You are very much not wrong.
Okay. Now,
But
if you add my favorite to that match, which they should be doing soon,
Rhea Ripley?
Rhea Ripley.
She's facing Bianca Belair for the title at Money in the
Oh,
Bank.
that's right. God damn
Yeah.
it. But that's gonna be, you know what? She's gonna win it.
I hope she does, man.
She's gonna win it because they need to gather some belts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's gonna happen.
I'm hopeful. So I don't know. It's a tough call because I think the only belt they can actually attain right now is the Raw Women's Championship, because neither Damian nor Finn are going to go for the U.S. title, because the U.S. title is either going to Bobby Lashley, which we'll get to later, or it's going to be used in a feud between Austin Theory and John Cena. But I don't.
Yeah, that's gonna be the one.
But I don't necessarily think that feud needs the title.
Yeah,
And
it does. Yeah, it does. I'll
But
tell
I
you
think
why.
I think what they need to do and what they're doing on SmackDown is, I love Ricochet, but WWE doesn't love Ricochet, and he's just not the guy who's going to elevate that title. But Walter can. And I think what they're doing, because what they need to do, it's the same thing I said going into WrestleMania, where both titles were just, where the WWE Championship was just not going to be on Raw, and I thought they were going to do it with Finn, and they didn't. Those mid card titles need to be elevated, because those are your only main roster titles that you have available to show on your programming every week. So they need to be on superstars who either you loathe but are just really damn good at what they do, or superstars you love who are damn good at what they do. Walter and Bobby fit that perfectly. And I think if you give Austin Theory a feud with John Cena, that's going to carry water on its own, and you can kind of pawn off the US title to somebody else who's going to make it prestigious.
Yeah, but nothing would be more prestigious than John Cena, who had one of the greatest, if not the greatest, United States title runs ever, come back to just squash the snot nosed brat,
I'd love that though. I would, because I hate Austin Theory so much.
right? And then what was the other thing you said after that?
Walter and the Intercontinental, or Bobby Lashley
Yeah.
winning the U.S. title?
So all right. So who is the Intercontinental Champion?
Walter. He beat Ricochet last Friday.
Walter. All right. I think that's a great move by them.
Yeah.
But they better make him an unbeatable Intercontinental Champion. Nothing less with Walter. Gunter.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's not Walter anymore. Yeah, Gunther. Yeah. Silly
Gunther.
me.
You're not thinking racist enough.
Yeah, apparently not. I'm not thinking of a German white guy enough.
Would you please get a little more racist for us, Joe? It's
God,
Gunter now, please.
Freaking hate the WWE.
So I think that's a great Intercontinental Champion, though. You want heat, you want a guy who can go out there, and the way that he fights is brutal. Brutal.
All right, so his match with Ricochet, he finished him with the power bomb. Has that been what he's been using as his finisher, just a generic power bomb? Because if that's the case, that needs to change. Because it didn't even look good.
He has so many moves that are considered like could be finishes. That's the problem with Walter.
Yeah.
If you ever watch Walter fight, it's a lot of physicality, a lot of like slaps, a lot of physicality. Like you're not gonna come out of a match with him not being like red and black and blue, whatnot.
Yeah.
And he takes the hits, and he's got in much better shape. Like he was much flabbier, right, when he was in NXT. Now
he got cut. Yeah,
it looks more like his cardio is probably through the roof. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
which is good. So if you can get a Gunter with great cardio, that's a guy that you really could ride for a while with the Intercontinental title. You can make that a bigger title.
I'd like to see him go up against someone like Sheamus, and then have Butch switch alliances or allegiances rather. So he goes into a program with Sheamus over the Intercontinental title. Ultimately goes over Sheamus, and then Butch.
I want to let him fight Sheamus. You know what? Let him fight the even like a Bobby Lashley. I'm being serious about that too.
Yeah, Lashley's on Raw though. That's the only issue.
Doesn't matter as he goes. I'm saying as he goes through this whole Intercontinental thing, like let Veer, let his whole push end against Gunter. Right?
Yeah.
If you want to build Gunter correctly, Veer comes in and gets smashed. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I don't think they are going to kill Veer's push this early, though, because they're still pushing him pretty
No,
heavy.
I'm saying, like, look, again, I'm talking, like, fights down the road. Like,
okay, yeah.
You give him, like, 1, 2, we're talking a couple months down. Now, like, 4 months down the road, 3 months down even, you throw him Veer. That's how you establish him as, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have a good reign. I think the biggest thing he needs to do, or that WWE needs to do with him, is he just needs to be featured every week on SmackDown, and he needs to be defending the title, if not every week, almost every week. Every Friday night, he just needs to be fighting someone differently, whether it be low mid card, someone he can easily squash. Maybe you throw in someone on the mid card, someone who's former champion. You give him KO 1 week, you give him, just make sure they're giving him challengers, and he's on every show defending that title, and people can be like, holy shit, like, who's gonna beat this guy, until he's eventually competing for the main roster title,
and then make the US title like a slick title, like it, it's an honor to have it.
Yeah,
because Cena restored its glory. You know what I mean?
I want Bobby Lashley to hold the United States Championship again so bad.
But Cena has to take it back first.
Well, yeah, I mean,
to make it something bigger than it is.
Yeah, I could get behind that too, though. Is Cena? I just don't think Cena's going to be in it long enough to, like, you know what I mean, like to win the belt.
Joe, you're missing my point. He's just got to take it from this kid, make it a big deal for a second, and then drop it, or even walk away from it and do like the honorable thing. Be like, I can't defend it. I got to go back to doing what I'm doing. So I want to do the right thing and have a tournament. I'm just saying, like, there's so many things you can do that way. Like, but you got to get it off this kid and give it to Cena to make it appear. Like winning a belt off Austin, whatever his face is, or winning the belt off John Cena, or taking this belt after Cena is a big difference to me.
Yeah.
And I think with any wrestler it would be. So right there, I think that's kind of what you have to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just there's a few different ways they can go about it, and it'll be interesting to see how they do it because it's clear they're setting up a match between him and Cena. It's just, is it going to be for the United States Championship, which it very well may be because he's like using the United States Championship, like, oh, I'm a better champion than you, my reign's been better than you, blah 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 blah. But Bobby Lashley is also clearly gunning for the United States Championship. So now they do a 3-way feud where it's Austin Theory versus Cena, but Bobby Lashley's in there because he's like, screw you guys, like the unified champion's nowhere to be found, and I want gold, so I'm throwing my, you know what I mean, like something, because I feel like that should be kind of Bobby's character, like he's the almighty, like he should always just be champion, and he should always just trying to be champion. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with
Bobby Lashley's character has been. This is like when he first came into the WWE. This is what I wish his character was, because the dude is just so big and just like such like so aggressive. He just has that look where you're like, I just want to see this dude just like always beating people up.
So, but there's a couple of guys that we've been forgetting because WWE's been forgetting.
Mm.
Like, how many other guys are there that like could be like big, strong guys, but they never got like they didn't get that push to be the big men. Do you know what I mean? Like, how am I trying to phrase this? They're pushing Veer, right? Now, Bobby Lashley was once pushed as like the big, strong guy. He's not anymore. He's just Bobby Lashley, which is pretty cool. You've got the big, tall guy, Omos. He's being pushed in that sense.
He got pushed down to the mid card though.
He's already down to mid card.
Oh yeah, yep.
Now is MVP with him in mid card.
Yeah. I mean, we're like we always do. We're running a little long in the tooth, and that's 100% my fault. But there's a match with MVP where he squashes Ezekiel.
What are we running long for?
No, I'm saying like we're running long in the tooth. Like me, like I get off topic.
I'm just saying whatever.
But yeah, it's Omos MVP. That's all kind of being pushed lower down the card because I think when you have a guy like Omos who needs to have like a manager to kind of like speak for him and just like give him a rub, you can't that guy just isn't the main card guy you're gonna want, because like even Lesnar was able to do it on his own. Roman was able to do it on his own. Like a lot of these guys, like if you're even like Kane, Kane was never considered a top card talent until he eventually was just Kane on his own. And even then, they gave him a title begrudgingly.
Can I ask you something?
You can always ask me something.
Okay. If you're WWE, or if you're anybody with half a brain and you know how to run a business, or you can understand talent and you can understand what the you got, here's who Omos is. He should be a bodyguard. That's it. Let's leave it at that for like a year or two. That's it. Let's go back to leaving it at that. But I think he should be a high-priced bodyguard. I think the Hurt business should go into offering their services of being in Hurt business, and Omos can be like, I'm this guy's bodyguard for so many months. He paid me, and just hang around with whoever, dude. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
That's a great idea. Have him just be like the mob, but like he's just a hired gun.
That's it.
And MVP is his manager who works the deals.
But what's crazy about it is it's like it's until like Hell in a Cell. It's got to have a length of time because Omos can't like lose his cool and snap on the guy. He's got to respect that amount of time because the Hurt Business always does what they say they're gonna do.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
there's like a
like
lot
that.
of things you can have going back and forth with that.
That's a $1 million deal right, $1 million idea right there.
Yeah, they're not gonna listen.
No, they never do.
I'm just saying, like, how can anybody who's watching wrestling not look at him and not go, all right, his matches of, geez, you know what? I hated watching the Great Khali matches. They should have made Great Khali just a man. You know what? This guy should be a manager. That's literally how quick your mind should go from A to B.
But he shouldn't even be a manager. He should be like manager B.
You know what I mean? The bodyguard. My bad. Bodyguard.
Yeah, exactly. It should be a legitimate business. You know what I mean?
Bodyguard. The Hurt Business.
And then I think would be great too is you keep Cedric Alexander, even though he wrestled MVP, you keep Cedric Alexander in the Hurt Business, and he's the guy who's always like, well, how come I don't get hired to be the bodyguard? Look at, like, I can do things, and he goes out and just gets his ass kicked. Even though he's better than that, but
the best would be some nights when someone comes for help and they can't afford Omos.
Yeah. So they get Cedric.
MVP makes him a deal, and he sends him Cedric.
It'd be like Austin Theory versus friggin' Bobby Lashley, but Austin Theory spent all his money on his wardrobe and his phone, so he can't afford Omos. So Bobby Lashley is about to beat the crap out of him, and here comes Cedric Alexander, and Bobby Lashley just sends him right back out of the ring and continues beating the shit out of Theory.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that would be funny. Like, that might cause conflict between the two of them too. Like, as it goes on, make it funnier. But the guy, and I think he should hire someone else, bring someone else into the Hurt Business, right?
Yeah.
And then get this friggin' Olympic guy to grab Otis and what's his face, and let's get this whole wrestling team angle going.
The hell's Gable Stevenson been? They kept saying after his collegiate career, he was at WrestleMania and everything. Like, oh, he got drafted to Raw when they did the brand split. He was drafted.
Yeah. It's June? It's June.
Yeah.
Like, you know. If he wants to make an appearance, that'd be nice.
They should start running vignettes so he could just laugh every week. Like Veer was looking for Raw for like a year.
Hey, so it's 52 minutes and 52 seconds right now into the podcast. It's June 15th, 2022. And it is Buddy Money Thayer's birthday today.
Yep, there we go.
So Joe, I don't know if you're going to join me, but I'm going to sing Buddy happy birthday right now.
I don't think anybody wants me to join you, but then again, probably nobody wants you to sing, so I'll join in.
I'm going to do it. Don't hurt my feelings before I do, Joe. I'm going to do it in a nice, calm, soothing voice as not to alarm the dogs. As I don't want them running down here. And anybody who follows this show, which you should be following all our shows at www.legitpodcast.com. Well, then you'd know. Okay.
Turn my volume way down.
Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Are we behind time? Are you behind me?
I might be a little bit.
All right. Start again. Let me go. You stay with me. I lead. Understand that?
You were leading.
I'm just try to match what I'm doing. Here we go. 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. You're behind me. Happy birthday. Yeah, you're going to be behind me. Just back me up then. All right. Well, whatever. I'll do mine. You do yours. Ready? Whatever. All right. Let's just do it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Buddy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Buddy Money Thayer. My man just rope on video and stuff. Like, it's unbelievable. You know what? Ever since that kid Micah made the workout comment, me and Buddy been working out.
He's been looking pretty good too, man. I'm very happy for Buddy, and the since he's been going to CrossFit, the difference in him, it's been pretty cool to see.
Joe, here's the thing. We got to start taking photos. I want the legit wrestling photo. I want legit paranormal. I want all the different shows. Then I want the legit podcast.com family photo. You got to market yourself. So it's weird. Buddy and me, we're getting ourselves marketable. Joe, you got to start going. You got to start banging away at the gym. You keep killing yourself.
You you
You
do
know what I mean?
realize I go to the CrossFit gym with
I
Buddy,
know
right?
you go. I know you go. I know you go. I'm just trying to give you a talking to. You got to keep going to the thing, Joe. You got to keep working on it, working on it, working on it. And if you want this guy's humble opinion, you need to get the bald head rocking, get it tanned, and take maintenance to it. Take pride in the bald head. Grow sideburns.
I can't grow facial hair, man.
All right, but
Dude,
it'll grow.
facial hair. I would have a beard of the gods.
Yeah, you
It
just
would be
grow it
like
up.
Thor.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I don't even want to get into it, man. I
I
had
gotta
a
be honest.
glorious Billy
Can I
Goat.
So this is a lot of fun, but I actually just showered recently and I had a condition it. Here's the thing. The problem is food. Joe,
Yeah.
food. Any kind of food. Like just think of the word soup. And then look at my face. You know what I'm saying? Ice cream. Anything that drips. Just even like chicken that's got like any kind of dressing on it. So, you know, when this gets crusty and you go, Jesus Christ, how disgusting am I? It's like having a dog. You got to take care of it. It's fun, but if you don't maintain it, it's a son of a bitch. But all right. Do you have anything you want to say to wrap it up? I know we went too long, but anything like you want to talk about in wrestling before I
I
go?
mean, truthfully, there's not much left after what we didn't hit on. Riddle squash Ciampa, which is kind of sad. Ciampa's already getting looked over, didn't get an entrance, didn't get announced. Seth beat AJ. I think there's going to be a little feud there. Otherwise, Veer did Veer things. Mustafa Ali lost to Gable, and there was a pose off between Lashley and Theory that I really don't want to talk about. So that's about where I'm at right now.
All right. Here's what I want to kind of end with. Where are we with Edge?
They didn't mention him at all.
All right.
So
here's the problem though. So I play Supercard, right, on my phone. I'm actually incredible at it. Like I've been playing for 4 or 5 years. I'm one of
you probably have a good collection built up.
It's disgusting. I mean, serious, Joe, right? You know what I mean? Like where I'm ranked and whatnot. I do the last man standing ones. I do all of them. Like I'm big into it. This week's thing is Clash of Champions, and you have to you have to pick a guy that you're going to play for. They give you 2 guys. You pick one, and you play for his team. And if wherever you land, you get a card of his if you're high enough. And if your team wins most points, then everybody gets something extra.
Yep.
So it was literally Edge and Finn Balor. And I took Edge. So he's got to be coming back for some sort of feud. That's why they got him there. But the thing is, like, I don't know where the frig you go with him. I like him the way he was dressed. He's got to start his own other group. God damn. Like, I mean, because I don't like that group without Edge.
And I don't like yeah, it's weird, man. I mean, again, like you know why they did it? Because they lost Cody. They needed another face, and Edge is the easiest character they could flip flop. It is weird because I don't know what they do with him going forward. Like, I love the idea of him versus Finn because I think those would be great matches, but it's real, like, especially because he just spent months like talking to the fans and talking down to him, and he's gonna come back and we're gonna have to cheer him. Like, how does he get his repentance? You know, like how does he rehash his image? You know, it's weird. It was a weird way for them to do it because even if they were gonna turn him face, like you could have burned that candle a little bit longer. Like, holy hell.
Yep.
And how quiet was I that whole time?
Yep. That was good. But yep, and yep. Like, I really agree with you on it. Like, I think it's bullshit. I do. All right. So that's my main concern right now. my main issue is the edge thing. I don't like it. I'm very unhappy with it. Joe, I'm
Yeah,
very unhappy. And I'm being serious. I'm very
yeah,
unhappy with it.
yeah. For
Like,
being as big of a Finn Balor fan I am, I wish it didn't go down the way it did. Because I just think it spells bad things for Judgment Day and Finn Balor as a whole. I mean, they didn't even say anything. They didn't even address him as the new leader. Like, they just came up on the Titantron, and Rhea was just like, Bianca, I'm gonna beat you. Ah, it's just weird. Which makes me wonder if either A, maybe Edge is still the leader, and this is like a whole ploy or something. Like maybe there's a longer story, or maybe someone like Bray's coming back to be the leader. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's another angle they're working here. We can hope, I guess, but I don't know.
yeah, I don't know what to say to that, Joe. I'm like, I don't know. It's depressing. I gotta be honest. The state where wrestling is right now has me a bit depressed.
Welcome to being a Finn Balor fan.
I wonder if I could sue for depression. Like, I'll be like, they made me so depressed. Well, why? Well, but then if that's the case, like I've been saying for years, I would have sued the New York Giants.
I would have sued the New York Giants.
No, because you don't understand, like football, man. Like if you don't know pain, Joe. You've only been around for the
No,
good times. Like
you're right. I am honestly one of the blessed generations of Patriots fans where
awful. Like Joe, there's times where a game on Sunday will ruin Monday, Tuesday, and I'll just be getting over it on a Wednesday to where I want to talk football again. That's how bad I can like sometimes like a Giants loss will be. They kill
well,
me. They
in
kill me.
in my
Rip my
defense as a
heart out.
Patriots fan, that happens when like say we lose to the Dolphins.
Yeah, but that's gonna happen.
Or just in general, like when they used to lose games that they should win, or they go into the Super Bowl in 2007 undefeated, and Eli Manning has the game of his life, and David Tyree puts double-sided sticky tape on the top of his helmet, and the ball glue like it's stupid stuff like that. So I get that.
No,
I've known
that you should
elation.
have seen that. You should have seen that coming. Both of them. I
Oh, 2011, that Patriots team had no business being in the Super Bowl. So I don't that Welker shouldn't have dropped that pass. They had a chance to
listen.
win, but they didn't have any business being there.
Both of those teams should have known. There were two things that were very distinct about that. They should have known that Coughlin was going to coach and ultimately outcoach Belichick
Yeah.
time after time. They came from the same system, right? They do. I mean, I'm not saying that Coughlin's a better coach. I'm just saying maybe sometimes one guy knows one other guy better than most people.
Yeah, he's one of the only
And
guys in the league that wouldn't be intimidated by Bill being on the other side. He's
no,
not
he
Pete
knows. Yeah,
Carroll.
he's right. No, yeah, he was friends with Bill. Like he rose up. Why would he like he's a peer.
Yeah.
So the fact that we were getting better at getting the quarterbacks, and the fact that the offense, like, look, Eli both times in the playoffs just went like to another level.
Yeah.
Like, if you go and you check his stats and compare him to anybody else, what he did in those playoff runs is disgusting. And the Super Bowls, disgusting. Like he just went crazy. Like he just went on autopilot. And I knew we were going to get to the quarterback. Dude, I had a fight with so many goddamn radio guys and everybody that wanted to talk to me. I told you I had a friend who bought a brand new 60-inch TV and flew his dad up from Florida just to see the game for the Patriots to go undefeated and go 19-0 and all this bullshit. And I kept going, but what if you guys lose? And he's like indignant, like, oh my God, what do you mean? What? See you guys? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, I don't like the way this is being taught. Like I told you, I bought 2 T-shirts off eBay that said, congratulations, undefeated 19-0 Super Bowl champions. I still have one. And there was a book already out that you could pre-order about the 19-0 Super Bowl champs. That's a curse. There was already merch and shit being talked about the undefeated season. It was everywhere, Joe. And I'm going, but what if you lose? That's a big issue with football. You don't do that to another football team. You don't ever to another they're professional guys that are giants that lift weights. And you want to piss all those off once? For real, and treat them like that. And then what do they do? Bang, bang, smash, smash, boom. Every time they get near him, they're hitting him, they're dropping him down, they're smacking him. It got to the point where Brady started that whole ghost thing where when he's got the ball and he thinks he sees somebody over
He
here,
just curls up like into a ball and drops. Yeah.
And then if nothing happens, he pops up. Yeah, seeing ghosts. All right, Joe. Tomorrow we have legit USFL has to go is going to go from 8:05 to 9:05. However, 7:05, Brother Ray joining me for legit fantasy football. Matt will be there. We're bringing it back on Thursday night. There'll be 2 shows again on Thursday night. Legit fantasy football at 7. Legit USFL at 8. Joe, we're starting to build them up because then on Tuesday, we have legit paranormal vacation planners. Now, Joe, so far, we have 3 hosts. I don't know if you're going to want to jump on as a 4th host.
I might let you guys play that one out.
I think what we should do is see how it works. And if then there's room to add another guy, we can give you a character. Well, because people
That's all I've ever wanted.
In other words, like because she immediately went to, oh, I know so and so for this. If we do Lizzie Borden, I can get so and so on. Like they're all like pros on the topic. I'm like, or if they come on, they got to be known as like long-time local citizen, no, long-time local resident.
Yeah,
that's all they can be known as. Because I'm trying to sell the. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So we got that going on. We've got still got Sunday night paranormal. What else can they ask for, Joe? We're giving them what they want, right?
I think we need to do a paranormal show where we don't find anything and a go say the darndest things.
Dude,
coming soon to a podcast near you.
I hope he went away with this attitude. You know what? Those guys are pretty funny because I'll tell you about it later. So for Joey Paranormal and me, the nuanced street scholar, King Michael, this was World of Legit Fantasy Wrestling on Buddy There's birthday of June 15th, 2022.
Who had himself a day.
Tomorrow night, join us for legit fantasy football at 7 and legit USFL at 8. We are out.